Hello to day 2 with Mindful Beings Practice Week Emotions. And we started talking about emotions yesterday, and I wanted to clarify a few words that I used just to know that when I mention them, what I mean. So when we talk about emotions, or when I mention emotions, I talk about the physical response, the sensations, as well as our mental construct, what we consider frustration, shame, guilt, all these emotions that we name. When I talk about feelings, I talk about those feelings, the guilt, the shame, the frustration, the anger, happiness, joy, all those descriptions and identifications. And then we have sensations, which is pretty self-explanatory, which is how we sense something in our bodies, like the raised heart rate, the cold hands or sweaty hands, palms, or our feet getting all swept away, feeling tingly, any of those sensations related to them. Why it's important to define those three is just to be able to identify and differentiate what we're talking about, or also to notice the difference in it. Because sometimes a sensation comes up, like the racing heart rate, and we are maybe not so sure what we're feeling. So at least we have something that we can relate to. So we have half of the emotion. And so it's more about exploration and figuring it out. I had a 4-week workshop about finding comfort and exploring all our emotions. And we talked about listening and embrace. We talked about building a container and then creating a safety net. And why those three? It's first we have to know what we're trying to work on, or what is arising. What emotions do we have that needs some extra time and love? So what happens is, I'm going to talk about listen and embrace tomorrow. I'm going to talk about building a container the day after. And then creating a safety net will be more of like seeing how different ways we can put together. And not sure how much of exploration you did and observations you did since yesterday. However, if you did, maybe you noticed something. Maybe you noticed, oh my God, yes, I do feel some sensations related to my feelings that create my emotions. Or maybe it's like, oh yeah, I already knew that. This is no news to me. Anything it is just to create more of an awareness on where we stand on the everyday. They can change so quickly. Like I talked about impermanence yesterday. Nothing is staying. The question is just for how long. Sometimes unpleasant, pleasant, or indifferent feelings, they stay for longer than we wish for, and sometimes they pass quicker than we wish for. Like the pleasant emotions, joy, happiness, and feeling of freedom. We might want them to stay forever. And I just learned through many different ways, but also what Thich Nhat Hanh was saying, is that if there is no suffering, there is no happiness, and vice versa. It's just to realize that we can't just have pleasant emotions. We also have to have unpleasant emotions so we can appreciate the pleasant ones more, and to just be a whole being, an inclusive being, so that we embrace all of them. So tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit more about how to listen to them, how to embrace them. So for now, just keep observing, increase your awareness. Take care.